Hi everyone and welcome to topic 1 fractions of amounts of the GCSE 2022 Maths paper 1. In this video we're going to be going through this topic and how to solve questions related to this. Okay, so we're going to go through different sorts of questions of typically those which could come up in an exam. Okay, so here's our first question, nice and easy to begin. Now when we're finding a fraction of an amount, we're finding a part of the overall total. So in this case we are finding 1/6 of the total, which is 420. Now the easy rule when we're finding fractions of amounts is that you simply divide by the denominator and multiply by the numerator. Okay, so in this case over here we would divide by the denominator and then we would multiply by the numerator. So we would do 420 divided by 6 and that would get us 70, and then you would do 70 multiplied by 1 and that would get you 70. So that tells us that 1/6 of 420 is 70. Okay, and 70 is our answer. Okay, another type of question. Holly is thinking of a number. 3/4 of Holly's number is 39. Work out the number Holly is thinking of. So this question is telling you that 3/4 of a number, a blank box, is 39. Okay, now if we go back to the previous example over here, we were dividing by the denominator and then multiplying it by the numerator, and that's when we had the number in the box. In this case over here we don't have the number in the box, so what we would do is we would do the opposite to what we would have done in this case over here. So in this case we would do 39 multiplied by the denominator and then we would divide it by the numerator. Okay, so you would firstly do 39 multiplied by 4. If this was a non-calculator paper you would need to know how to work that out. So multiply by 4, you get 3 times 4 is 12, add 3 which is 15, so you get 156. Okay, and then you would divide it by the numerator, so you would do 156 divided by 3, and again you can just work that out. 3 goes into 15 5 times and into 6 2 times, so your answer would be 52. Okay, now we can also check our answer, because this number that we've just got, we can substitute it back into this box over here, 52. Okay, so is 3/4 of 52 39? Okay, now we can just do the basics. We can divide and then we can multiply. So we can do 52 divided by 4 and that would get us 13, and then you would do 13 multiplied by 3 which would get us 39. So we know that our answer is indeed correct. Okay, so our answer is 52. Okay, another question. 2/5 of a number n is 18. Find the value of n. Okay, so we have 2/5 of a number which is n is 18. Remember, we don't know this number. What is the value of this number? Remember, when we don't know the middle number we do the opposite, so we would multiply and then we would divide. Okay, so we would do 18 multiplied by 5 and that would get us 90, and then we would do 90 divided by 2 and that would get us 45. Okay, so that means n is equal to 45. Now we can also check our answer by substituting in this number in the place of n. Okay, so 2/5 of 45 is 18. Okay, you need to think, well, is this true? Okay, so 45 divided by 5 is 9, and then 9 multiplied by 2 is 18, and that is true, and so you know that your answer is correct, and so the missing number is indeed 45. So your answer would just be 45. Okay, another type of question: work out the difference between 25 and 2/9 of 81. Okay, so we have 25, this is our first number, and this is our second number. We need to work out the difference. First of all, let's get them both into numbers. So this is already into a number. Let's make this into a proper number. Okay, so 2/9 of 81, we can divide and then we can multiply. So we would do 81 divided by 9, giving us 9, and then you would do 9 multiplied by 2, which is going to give you 18. Okay, so you know that your first number is 25, and you know that your second number is 18. Okay, it says work out the difference between the numbers. Okay, so simply you would just do 25 subtract 18, and that would get you your answer, which is 7. Okay, so the answer to this question is 7. Okay, another style of question, a word problem this time. Okay, so there are 924 people in a theater. 383 of the people are men, 356 of the people are women, 2/5 of the children are boys. You need to work out how many girls there are in the theater. Okay, so if there is 924 total number of people in the theater, this includes the men, the woman, and the boys and the girls. Okay, this includes all this. We know how many men there are and how many women there are. Okay, so we can just work that out. So 383 and 356, we can just add them together to get our sort of total of men and women. So the total men and women are 739. Okay, so that means the rest of them have to be children. Okay, so how many children are there? Okay, so we can work that out. The number of children would be 924 subtract 739. Okay, we can just work that out there, and that would get us 185. So the number of children is 185, and of that amount we know that 2/5 are boys. Okay, so 2/5 are boys. So if 2 out of a possible 5 are boys, how many are girls? Well, if 2 out of 5 are boys, that leaves 3 out of 5 girls. Okay, so 3/5 are girls, and 3/5 of the total number of children are girls. So now what you would do is you would do 3/5 of the number of children, which is 185. You would divide again, and then you would multiply. So 185 divided by 5, well, that would get you 37, and then you would do 37 multiplied by 3, which would get you 111. Okay, so the total number of girls in the theater is going to be 111. Okay, final question for this topic. We have another sort of long question. Okay, so Stan has an income of 2,000 pound a month. He spends 2/5 of his income on rent, 3/20 on bills, 1/10 of food, and then he saves the rest. Work out how much Stan saves each month. Okay, so if he earns 2,000 a month, we can work out how much he spends on rent, how much he spends on bills, and how much he spends on food. Okay, and then we can subtract it from the total amount to work out how much he has left. Okay, so we're going to do that. So if we do 2/5 of 2,000, 2,000 divided by 5 is 400, multiplied by 2 is 800. So 800 on rent. Okay, 3/20 of 2,000. Well, 2,000 divided by 20 is 100. 100 multiplied by 3 is 300. So he spends 300 on bills. Okay, and then 1/10 of 2,000. 2,000 divided by 10 is 200, and then multiplied by 1 is still 200. He spends 200 on food. Okay, now let's total them together. These are the numbers of what he spends. Okay, so you would do 800 add 300 add 200, and that's going to give you an answer of 1,300 pounds. Okay, that's the total he spends each month. So if he spends this much, how much does he save? Okay, to work out how much he saves, you would do the total amount subtract how much he spends. So you would do 2,000 subtract 1,300, and that will get you how much he saves. Okay, so that would get you 700 pounds. Okay, and 700 pounds would be your final answer. And that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it, and one last thing, please subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell.